welcome to a new day. It's a little bit of a different video today because I wanted to show you everything I have crocheted so far. Will she help us or will she be annoying and not helpful at all?
Maybe annoying.
You don't fit in that little basket, kitty. You also don't fit in that basket. Okay? You don't fit. I'm sorry. Do I need to make a pixel basket? I think this is a hint. I think I need to make one that's pixel sized.
Yeah.
Would you like that? Yes? I think the answer is yes, because she has all her 4 paws in that little basket.
Ow.
Okay, she's gonna sit in it. I need a picture of this. Photo shoots with cats are horrible. Just look at that. She's just sitting in the basket. Okay. I think that's a hint. I think I need to make a pixel-sized basket. Yeah, do you want that? Okay, let's do that then. It's on my list, okay? But I have a very big list. I want to go through all my phases of crochet. So I started with just little rectangles, but then I kept taking them out and doing them again. So I don't have any of those. Basically something like this, but then smaller and just like single or double crochet stitches. I am still learning like all the terms and stuff, so maybe learn with me. There are a lot of stitches in crochet and you can do a lot of different things with them. And then, no, stay in your little basket. And then you have all the types of yarn, and I want to do only natural types of yarn, so only cotton, wool. I have a little bit of bamboo somewhere. There is some silk mixed in there. Is that Nathan? Is that?
Yeah, silk.
That's also natural fibers, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I could do linen. I don't know if you have linen yarn. I don't know. But this is all cotton except for this. This is fully wool. She's just sitting in the basket. I can't believe you, Pixel. So I started with just single and double crochet little patches, but I've been taking those out. And then I started teaching myself granny squares, which these are my very first granny squares, and they have a lot of holes, which I don't really like. All the holes in there. I don't like that. So then I made a different one that has a little bit less holes. I fully thought when I started this that there was only one type of granny square. Like the granny square was like one thing you can do, but you have 100,000 different granny squares. So you can do so much with only making granny squares, which is crazy. Oh, I have my pouch. I forgot my pouch. I'm very proud of my pouch. Will you keep watch? Yes? No eating yarn. Oh, you're behaving. Thank you. Thank you, Pixel. You even have a plastic bag right next to you, right there. You're not even licking that. That's nice. So I think, oh no, this is not the very first thing I made. I think these are the first things I made. So I started with just like the rectangles, and this is basically just a rectangle, but then you join it together there. So you make a glove and you leave a little hole for your thumb. So this is a very easy thing to do. Little hand warmers. But I made these too big. So these are now Nathan's hand warmers, because for me they are just too big. I did not take into account that crochet, like, it gets a little bit bigger once you wear it. And maybe I could wash these and they will shrink a bit. So maybe that would work. But I can also just make new ones, because I think I have enough wool, of this wool, to make at least myself a new pair, and then Nathan can have these. And these are nice and warm. I like them. And then to go with that, I also made a hat, which is why I have enough wool now to make a new pair of these, because I ran out of wool with this one. But this is now a matching pair. So I made myself a hat and some hand warmers. And I absolutely love it. I love that I can just make this. I'm gonna say that a lot. I just can't believe that you can make this with just like a ball of yarn. How? How does that work? I mean, I know how because I've made it, but it's just a bit crazy to me. And then this one is also not perfect, but I love it. And then I could still add a little pom-pom to the top. I don't know if I want to. I kind of like it like this. But it is a little bit messy on the top. But who's going to look at the top of your hat, right? I don't think anyone will. And then also the joining on the seam. But then oh, here it is. The join on the seam isn't the best. But who's going to notice except me? So I'm pretty happy with this as my first like wearable homemade crochet wearable thing that I made. Little matching pair. And then I continued on the granny squares. So I went with making a pouch, which might have been a little bit too advanced for me, because you need granny squares, which I practiced, so I can do granny squares, but then you need to join them, and then you need to join them the right way. So some of these are the right way, some of these are not the right way, and then some of these seams are also different than others. So there are definitely a lot of points where I can improve on this, but I am still very proud of this one because it has a lining. Like, it's a pouch with a lining. I joined the granny squares and then I added the top part, and I added the zipper. I crocheted the zipper in there. So I am very proud of this little pouch. But when you like put it down, it just goes flat. Well, it should like stay up, but I think that might just be the yarn I used. This is a blend of cotton, bamboo and silk, I think. Maybe even some wool in there. So it's very nice and soft, but I think that also means it is a bit like not very structural. So maybe my next pouch, which I have here, this is going to be a pouch. It's fully cotton, and it is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. You really like that little basket. This is 12 granny squares. So it's going to be 6 on both sides. Please don't eat my basket. Can you see where do I put it so you can see? When I touch her back feet, she doesn't like that. It's going to be 6 granny squares on one side and then 6. I'm sorry, you're just in the way. And then 6 on the other side. And then I somehow need to join that. And then I do have a couple more zipper options. This one's way too long. But I believe I did have a smaller zipper, which I now don't know. Or is it this one? Yeah, it's this one, I think. Yeah, that would work. Which I now realize this is polyester. Do you have zippers that are natural fibers?
No.
Because I don't like this being polyester.
Yeah, maybe.
What happened? It's a zipper. It zips. It's gonna zip this pouch. And this is a purple zipper that goes with my pink. I always want to say orange for pink, and I don't know why. In my head it just makes sense that this is orange. I have pink granny squares and then a purple zipper. And I think that's going to be fun. And then I started something new. I also don't remember if I did a 3.5 or a 5 hook. with my granny square. So now I need to figure out which hook to use to join the granny squares. Can I have this one back, please? Thank you. That's very well behaved. Thank you so much. So that's all that. I haven't been crocheting for long, but I'm collecting things already. And I love it. And then I have my newest obsession for Pixel. It's plastic, but that's not new. She has always loved plastic and we don't know why. So then I have my newest obsession, which is making baskets. I started with this one, which is tiny. Like the pattern I was following was for Pixel. No plastic. No, don't bite me. Don't bite me. Good. So my newest obsession is baskets. I started with this one and the pattern was for one that's like 3 times this size, but I think she used a different type of yarn. But I do love this one. It fits perfectly for my little scissors and then my little, no, just some little trinkets like these threading needles. That just fits perfectly in there. So that is where I keep that. Pixie, this cat, can you not? No, no. So that is what I use this one for. And then I made one with this type of yarn, which is macrame yarn. And that makes it a lot more sturdy because this one is, as you can see, a bit floppy. Which I think you can fix by adding starch. But I don't know if I want to do that. That sounds a bit strange, but I don't know. Maybe I will try and see if it works.
Pixel.
So the macrame yarn does make it a lot more sturdy, but it's also a lot harder to do on your fingers. So that is why this one isn't finished yet, because my fingers kind of hurt from this one. So I just put that to the side. And for this one I also used 2 colors. So it is pink and white. And I like this one. And this one actually fits my granny square project perfectly. So I've just been collecting everything I need in here. And that's why I think I used a 5mm hook, because that was with this project. So I think it's a 5mm hook, but I'm not sure. Maybe I need to make one more of these granny squares with the 5mm hook to see if it's the same size. Maybe that will figure it out. So yeah, then I have another basket, but this is not finished. It needs to be higher. And that's with these. But these have the problem that they tangle a lot. And I don't know why. Because with the other basket, they didn't. And it's the same yarn. So I don't know what's happening there. And then I also made a bigger one of this, which is just a cotton yarn. But this is even more floppy. So I don't know what happened here. I don't know how to add more structure with only like cotton. But I think if I put something in here, it will be fine. It's kind of more like an oval shape now than a rectangle. And I also kind of like the vibe, so it's fine. And then the last thing I'm making right now is a blanket. And I'm very excited because I can now do the shot, the thing that I always see on social media. So I'm gonna fold this up and show you my blanket progress, which you've already seen because I'm rolling it up in front of you, but the people stand up and then they do like this. This is how far I am with my blanket. And then you can show the progress every week and it gets longer and longer. At some point this is going to be, so this is about 60 centimeters and then it's going to be about 80 and then it's going to have 7 of these bands. Without the cats, please. So this is going to be my editing blanket. That is what I want to make of that. What do you want? So I need to make a basket for the cat. So you have a little place to sleep. That's what you want? Yes? You can't have that, I'm sorry. No, no, no. And then I also want to make a hat that is less warm. Because this is crazy warm. Wool is warm. I knew that already, but I want to make a warm hat. But this is crazy warm and I don't really need this warm of a hat. So although I like it and I have used it already quite a few times actually, I do still prefer my other hat, which is less warm. But that's polyester, so I want to make the same one in cotton. Or maybe in this yarn, like the more silky, soft yarn. That could be nice. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know if I have enough. I find it very hard to calculate how much yarn you need for anything, basically. Yeah, that's everything I've made so far. Everything I am working on as well, because I am still working on 3 of these projects. Let me know if I need to do more updates if you like seeing my crocheting progress. And then I'm also working on this, which is all the yarn I'm using. So I saw it's either a TikTok or a reel, I don't know. If I can find it, I will pop it here to give credit to that person, but I don't know if I can. They made a book of all the yarn they made. So you pop the wrapper, you glue that to the page, and then you put a hole in the page and attach the yarn to that. So you always know which yarn you used, and then maybe also like write down what you made with it, something like that. And oh, this is the yarn of the pouch. So this is 50% organic merino wool, 25% organic cotton and 25% silk. That is still like 50% wool, this one. But this is my absolute favorite. I love this wool. I love this yarn. So I might make a hat with that. And I think that's gonna be harder because it's a lot thinner yarn. So I don't think I have enough of that. We'll see. But that is also something I'm working on. And then this is my, oh, I do have a little testing swatch for the blanket. This is the lemon peel stitch that I was practicing. And then I have a little book of all the patterns that I have been using. And then maybe that's fun. Where is it? This is my page of designing the pouch, kind of. If that makes sense to anyone. Yeah, so I'm trying to like write down everything I make so that I don't have to keep looking it up. And this is me designing the blanket, which looks very chaotic, which is very on brand. We are very chaotic. And it's also Dutch and English like mixed together. Why? So she went for this. Oh, now she's going for my phone. Sure. She went for this one. And then my phone. I think someone wants to have a little playtime. Pixel. She's walking very naughty. She's wiggling her back. That's her I want to play walk. Do I just end it there? Do I join the granny squares? Because I'm kind of tired.
And that's it.
That's it. And that is going to be it for today's video. So we will see you tomorrow.